Okay, so today we are going to make a flat laying mini book. But first I wanted to show you, this is the file folder I was talking about, and I'll do a tutorial on this later, but I really like this. I saw this on someone's YouTube channel, and I will link that when I do my tutorial and show you where I first saw it. Anyway, I thought I'd just flip through and show you how this turned out. I thought it was really cute. So you just open it, ends up like an accordion, like this, and then of course with things on the other side as well. So I'll just show you through my different sides. I made this the cover, and I used my Sis die cut to cut these out, and then got a little tag here. Could write on, put photos. It came out with a lot of really cool pockets. That's one thing I did like about this. I changed my pockets a little bit. I didn't do them exactly like the tutorial, but anyway, cute little tag there. Holly jolly. And then just an angel. You could, use a clip and clip things on here if you didn't want to permanently cover her up. Got a little faith carved out there. Merry Christmas. Just like a kind of vintage little booklet. And on the back, to hold my ribbon, I just cut out a big circle and then put the paper on top of that. And just a little bit of bling there. And then we'll go this way next. Our little angel here, and we've got some treats. Another stamp. I'm having fun with my Christmas stamps this year. Another stamp. And pocket. I do like these pockets. And then that takes us to our last page. I think I showed you all the pages. Anyway, it was really quick, really fun. Of course, the embellishing took me longer than anything else, but I will do, my next tutorial will be on making one of these. What I used for that and this book, I have this book that it's on Amazon, but in the regular book form, paperback book form, but I found a publisher that actually prints it in a tear out. So this just tears out real easily like you would in a scrapbooking paper pad. And I like, her colors are very vibrant. So this is on Bravante, and I'll leave a link of where you can purchase it directly from the publisher. And then these punch out. So the tags punch out. Don't have to cut them. And then it's got a junk journal inside. I did a little tutorial on a booklet, chipboard booklet that I made to house this junk journal. We've got postcards here that you tear apart, little things to make cards out of, angels, and of course they're front and back. I don't know if you can see much of the other side. I'll just flip through real quick. It's got coloring pages in it, more tags, and the tags are all on nice heavy cardstock. Beautiful images. And then these are the little those are tags. I'm sorry. I just had like a momentarily lapse, so I couldn't think of a word. And then these are the cute birds that you can cut out and, get them to look like that. I did a little tutorial on that too. And then just some landscape pages. We've got cards, ATC cards, and just some more of the landscape pages, bookmarks, really gorgeous bird pictures, and then the bookmarks to match. So that's this little book, or not a little book, it's a big book. That's this book. And I used it to make my first flat lay book. Now, I saw several tutorials, and I kind of combined those to make these flat lay. And they're kind of like a storybook, like the old like children's books. That's what it reminds me of. This one I made out of chipboard, so it ended up really thick. Today's I'm going to make with just cardstock, and you can choose which you would prefer, but you can make it out of chipboard. I cut my chipboard 8x8, and then I put cardstock on that, and then I put my paper just a little, my decorative paper just a little bit shorter. It's 7 3/4 by 7 3/4, so you see a little bit of the edge there. And I went ahead and put a pocket on the front because it just seemed to go with that, lend itself to that. This I had from Prima Marketing. I love this little flower. I knew I would eventually use it. And then we open up and see how it's just like a wooden, one of those wooden storybooks to me. And so I put a pocket here. This die cut is just absolutely gorgeous. It's a Sussex die cut. Winter Wishes. I just love it. So I tuck that in there, put a little bit of lace, obviously. Then I clip this little piece in here. This was just a leftover. It's actually upside down. Leftover scrap from all these papers. And I don't know if you can see that, Winter Wishes, and I got a deer. I stamped it with white because I thought that would look pretty on the pink. And it does. I just hope you can see it. Now this I cut out of one of the papers and then put stickles, and I sprayed one of the Tim Holtz sprays on that. Sorry, I should have had it here so I could tell you exactly. But I love these bird papers with the pink. And then we got our man walking his dog here. Hopefully there's not too much of a glare. These papers do have a slight shine to them. And then here's one of the bookmarks. Christmas Sparkle. I just made like a little long corner pocket there. And then we've got this tag. I fussy cut out a little piece of the paper for the pocket. And then this one, I didn't want to cover them up. I just love them. So I put a clip there that when you want to put your photos or journaling or something you're saving, you can just clip it on there. And then we got us a beautiful bird on the back. And I used bookbinding material, paperback bookbinding material to do my spine. Okay, so now we're going to put together this little flat book. And for this one, I'm making it smaller. It is going to be the cardstock that I cut is 5 3/4 by 8 1/2. And the reason I cut it that size is I am going to use some of my junk journal pages, and they're 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I'm sorry, 8 1/4, because I cut the spine off of the book. So they're 5 1/2 by 8 1/4. So they should fit nicely on here and have a little border. That's why I made these 5 3/4 by 8 1/2. Now, I'm using this book of mine, A Grand Millennial Christmas. It's got my author strip across there. But I've already used a lot of the pages out of here. So the main pages are these junk journal pages where you get it, if you see my other books, you get it and they're together. Well, they wouldn't be together like that. They'd be together like this, and you fold them and make a journal. But you can also use them in other projects, which I have. And so this book is almost empty. I cut out the remaining junk journal pages, cut them in half, and then I'm still left with, I have this portrait one. I've still got my pocket pages that I could use in something. And then I have some landscape ones, and these would go nicely in some different projects that I'm going to try to use these as well. But I really love the colors in this, and it's got that painterly look, so it's kind of got that muted look. And then we've got these adorable little ephemera pieces with our woodland animals. That owl is one of my favorites. And just some really cute images. And then we have some little Christmas sayings as well. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the book together, and you could use this with anything. You could really make it any size, like I showed you my 8 by 8. So you could use this concept and do it in any size that you wanted, and it'll be the lay flat as long as you use all these principles that I'm going to show you. And You can use it like my big one that I did with chipboard, but this time I think I'm just going to use cardstock because it's sturdy enough to do that. And since this is a little bit smaller, but we're going to put the book together and then I'll add my pages afterward. Now, for the first, I cut, so for what I wanted, I want 4 signatures, so I've cut 8 pages, 2 pages per signature, and then we're going to bind it all together. And for that, you need 10 images. If you're going to make it that size, you need 10 papers to be able to put them on, and it'll make sense once we get putting this together. So I've got my 8 cardstock pages. You could use chipboard if you wanted. And then I've got 4 spines that I cut. I made these 1.5 inches, and then I scored it at 3 3/4 of an inch. This one got a little off track, but I see where my main one is. So, and then we'll need a larger one, and I'm not sure what size yet until we get the book all put together, but we'll need a larger one to wrap around the all the signatures put together, wrap around that just to hold it in place a little better. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to use my fabric tack, my Beacon fabric tack, for putting the cardstock pieces together. Then when I'm going to put my pages, on it, my decorative pages, I'm going to use the glossy accents. Alrighty, so we'll score our, where did I put my boom folder? We're going to fold and score our spines. And you want your spine to be the length of your papers. Like that. You want it to be the same length. And then just for the cardstock, I don't think you need as wide. This is about the widest you would probably need, is a 3/4 of an inch. But when you do the chipboard, I used, the half of it was 1 inch because I did 2-inch strips and then folded it in half. So for the chipboard, since it's a little bit thicker, but I think for this is all we will need. So we want to we can put the glue on here. Put some glue on the one side. This glue must be getting low. It's hard to squeeze. And so then we're going to take this and butt it up against there. Make sure it's even, lined up is what I want to say. And then we want it we definitely want it in that crease. And that's why I like to use glue, because then you got a little bit of wiggle room. I used to, when I made mini albums all the time, I used paper tape, that 2-sided paper tape, but I like with this, it gives you some forgiveness if you need to move it. So there's our first one, and then we want to put glue on this side. My glue's getting messy because it's coming to the end, I think. Or it's getting low anyway. So then we're going to take this piece and butt this up against here. This is how it ends up being a lay flat book. Of course, it's lay flat until I put all my stuff in it and start getting it too thick to lay flat. I'm going to try not to do that with this one. So there's our first set of pages. Okay, we got messy glue here. I'm not too worried about this piece. It's going to get covered up. So our next one, and you can build all your signatures and then put them together, or you can put them together as you go. I think for now we're just going to build all our signatures and then we'll put them together. All right. So, since you see what I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and do it and speed it up and put some music to it, and we'll just have fun getting these done. right, so we have our 4 signatures here, and we are simply going to glue these together by taking this page and this one and gluing them together. And I don't know if you noticed as I was going along, I was putting the glue more so on this outer edge because I noticed, I don't know if it's because my glue's getting low, it was kind of showing up in the middle here, so I didn't want to put too much toward the center of that crease. So I started backing off on that. So we're just going to put this one, and you want to make sure you square these up really well. Again, that's why I like to do the glue where we got some wiggle room. You want to get them lined up nice and square. So see, now we got our first 2 together. So you'll have this page. Oh, that's thick now, and this page. See, I don't like how that's doing. I didn't do it in my other one. Hopefully. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so we got that, and then we're going to glue this one onto here. These 2 together. And I like to pick it up, and then that way you can really get them squared up. So now I got an extra one added on there, and I started getting a little bit careful about not putting the glue toward the center. It's just like it's stickier or something than usual, I guess because it's getting low. See what I mean? You can even tell it's like stickier than usual. It's usually smoother than this. I don't know what's going on with it. Still my favorite glue. All right, and this is our last signature to put on here. All right. Now, like I said, I mean, you could keep adding signatures. There's really no limit. You could just keep on doing this process, putting 2 together with the little spine and then gluing the signatures together. So this is what we have. So our surfaces, we should have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hate that right there. That's when I started fixing that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got our 10 surfaces to fill if you want to make it this size. And now we want to, because we don't want that to be our spine, material works very excellently because it's got some give and bend, but I'm thinking, and I a lot of times will use that paper-backed bookbinding material. I'll frequently do that, but I am going to use cardstock, so we'll see which size fits best here. All right, so would want it, of course, to cover that up. And then let's see how flexible this can be. I'm just afraid if it's too stiff. Oh yeah, that's way too big anyway. We want to go with our smaller one. So this one is 2 inches. So if we put that on there, and then let's see how bendable this paper, it wants to fight me. I mean, normally you could glue it down and then bend it around, but I want to make sure it's going to bend without creasing too much and be nice and smooth looking. And if not, we are going to have to use material. See what I mean, how that does? I believe we could probably shave a little bit. Yeah, that one needs to come over further. Yeah, cardstock is harder to work with than material. I think I'm going to get a little piece of my book lining material just for the flexibility. So I will be right back. I may take that back. I've got some material here. I've got some lace. And that would look lovely there, and it would still cover up the spine, I believe. Yeah. So that would probably look pretty with this project. And then I also have this pink satin. I'd have to iron it. Oh, wow. That would look so luxurious, wouldn't it? Okay, I'm going to have to iron it, so I'll just pause the video. I'm going to give this a little press, and then I just think for a Christmas book, I mean, oh, yes, okay. That's what we're going to do. I'll be right back. All right, so I ironed it and I cut a piece that's 8.5 by 3. And most of you probably know silk is extremely hard to cut, but I did the best I could. And I probably should put some fingernail polish on the bottom so that it doesn't fray. Now, our papers are going to cover the actual edge, so all that should be showing. Actually, yeah, I probably wanted to make this 8.25 because it'd be great if the paper completely covered it. You know what I mean? So we just have, yeah, we want this to be the length of our papers. So since I have this side, oh, that side's pretty straight. Looks like this side is not quite as. So let's cut. Yeah. Let's cut that much off. Actually, flip it over on the other side and I'll just draw a line. Okay, so we'll just cut that edge off. Okay, let's see if that looks a little bit better. Should be about there. Of course, after we get everything else on there, it should look pretty good. Yeah. Because then our paper is going to, and that's not going to be our cover. I don't know why I keep putting that one on there. I don't know which one's going to be our cover. Oh, probably. You know which one's a good one? This one. She's gazing out the window as it's snowing. Okay. So yeah, something like that. Something like that. Okay. Now glue it down as best I can. So what I'm going to do is glue the edge down, and then I'll glue where we've got our spine. I'll glue on the side of the spine. I'm afraid that glue is going to show through there, isn't it, with it being satin? I think I said silk earlier, but it's satin. Hope it doesn't show through too bad. I wonder if this will be better. You're here to experiment with me so that you don't have to. Okay, let's see. Because I do find a lot of times that this glossy accents. Oh, who? I had to stick a pin down in it to get it unclogged. I'll tell you, that glossy accents, it does not take long for it to clog. Yeah, hopefully when this dries, it's going to dry clear. Or my little experiment may not work, and I could just put something else over the spine if it doesn't dry nicely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be coming back on here, and once I get this all blinged up and decorated and embellished, I'll come back on and show you the final. I'll probably just do a quick walkthrough video. Yeah, see how that okay. We'll see how it dries. I'll lay this down so it doesn't just get glue all over the place, but I don't want it to glue to that. Okay, so I think we're going to use this as the cover. Another little thing I'm going to do, because these edges are just a little bit rough there, I've got a pink ink here, and I'm going to just go along the edges where I cut it. Smooth them out a little bit. I mean, you can also take a fingernail file, but it doesn't hurt to give it a little bit of color too. And then we'll glue this down. I think I'm still in frame here. You know, I'm going to try this. I'm my glue stick, because I'm teaching a class on December 10th, and I take all my own supplies for the class, and I just want to make things stretch a little bit. And I heard someone saying that if you take your glue stick, oh, that's awful chalky though. You take your glue stick in the middle pieces, and then just take your glue around the edges, you know, your liquid glue, take that around the edges, and then that would save you a lot of the cost of the glue. But let's see. I'm going to see how that does. And of course, we're going to be putting flowers and all kinds of goodies on here. Now, let's go ahead and put the cover on, the back on too. I have to decide which, oh, that's pretty, isn't it? But you'd want that inside. That might make a good back cover, because you want your journaling pages inside. I like that one too. Probably want those inside. There's a good one with gifts, presents, kiddos. That's pretty. That's pretty. Yeah, I think I like that. And then the others can go on the inside. Oh, I forgot to do my chalk thing I just told you I was going to do. Oh, it's so fun being me. There we go. And like I said, hopefully this is going to dry so that you don't see that. And I'll cut these other little pieces off. But if it does, I will find a way to embellish it. Now, what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and put some music on, because I'm just going to kind of flip through and decide which pictures I want on where and glue them down. So I'll play a little bit of Christmas music and we can do that. I was thinking, okay, I'm like, wait a minute, why do I have 2 pages left over? Well, because I missed this one somehow. Okay, so that's why I got 2 pages left over. I don't really have them left over. So we either do the skater and this, or we do this lady at the door and this one. Oh, I really like this side. But I really like the skater, but then the skater's going to be with this paper. I just really like that. I like the extra blue in there, so I think I'm going to go with this. And I'm going to get my little glue picker-upper and get rid of some of this glue like that. You know, I've got one of those, it's Creative Memories, but I don't know where it is. It's here somewhere, but it's like, it looks like a little sponge, but it gets rid of your glue. It like erases glue. And I don't know if you noticed, part of the way through, I kept losing the order I was doing things. Initially, I was getting the edges first with a little bit of ink before I put it down, of course. Okay. I definitely want to get the edge where I had the cuttings. And then I don't know if you noticed, I switched from doing I quit doing the stick because that glue stick I have, it's the one everybody recommends, but to me, I don't think it glides very smoothly, so it probably sticks really well, but I like my glue sticks to glide over the page a little better. It's this UHU. Maybe because it's magic blue. Maybe that's what, maybe I wasn't supposed to get that one. I don't know. Do y'all use glue sticks? Because I don't typically, but I do every now and then. Okay. So. There is our book done, and well, not really done, but the base of it done. And then, like I said, I will be embellishing it and come on here with the final flip through. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages. And of course, I'm going to be putting pockets because you're going to need pockets to tuck things, belly bands and pockets. I will show you. Let me show you a real quick one. The very first one I tried to do made a big, well, not big mistake, but I did it wrong. So let me show you that real quick. So I created it, and then I was like, why didn't I put the papers over top? I don't know, because I didn't know what I was doing yet. So this is the same, out of the same book, and these were the pages that I originally wanted to create this with. You got Santa, so it's not bad on the inside, it's just on the cover and the back. But I can do something with this and get it fixed up. In fact, what I could do, you know what I could do? I'm glad I talked this through on the video. I could actually take one of these very pretty landscape ones. Oh, solution! See, great minds. We had to come together on this. I'm gonna do that. And cover it up. Let's do that, and then I'll flip through it with you. So I'm just going to cut this in half, and then we're going to glue these babies down. Yay! Where's my cutter? I am so glad. I mean, like, I wasn't even going to show anyone that mess. And then when I did, I'm like, wait a minute. We could fix this. All right, so we want this at 5.5. All right, let me make sure. Yeah, that's the right width, so we want it 5.5. All right. I mean, I hate covering up that pretty picture, but that makes much more sense now. Yep. And see, this is that book, paper-backed book binding material I was telling you about. So we'll just glue this baby down. I'm so excited. We got a fix. And a fix. See, that quick that dried up. How can that happen? So what I do, I just take this pin. It's like a push pin because it's got the end, like if it's tight and sometimes it's hard to pull back out because it is sticky. I mean, you really got to push in there. But that's why I like having these, because that helps you pull it out. I'll just test it on that napkin here. How did we want this? Yeah, want it like that. Of course, both sides are gorgeous. Okay. This is making me happy. And now I can give one of these as a gift. I still wish I would have cut it shorter here, but it's still okay. It's 100 times better than what it was. And then we could put, I've got some die cuts. I can do a Merry Christmas on here, different things. So we got Santa, places to put pictures. I love how these lay flat books are. We got skates, more kids opening gifts, beautiful flowers there. We have two girlfriends baking. And then we have mom and the kids baking and a place to journal. And we had the church on the back, but we had to cover that up with flowers. So there are our two little booklets. I'm going to have fun now embellishing both of them and come back and show you. Thanks for watching.